All right, what's up, everyone? We got a brand new Battle Royale program that just started, and we got some good cards in this video, so I will show you those cards. Point of this video is to give you guys a guide on how to draft in Battle Royale. You can take my advice, you can take the advice of some other content creators out there who show you how to draft. I think this is going to be really good advice for you in your attempt to go 12-0, get a flawless pack. Now, in addition to us looking at the program, my first piece of advice is always look at the program before you start the draft. All right, a very important piece of information. So we're gonna scroll on over to Battle Royale, and then, like I said, look at the program. You have the first button there is the Enter Battle Royale Draft. Don't do that. Go to the program first and we'll take a look at it. Scroll all the way to 100 XP. That's how much XP you'll need to get the flawless program pack. And of course, your first goal should be to go 12-0 to get that pack, and go 12-0 again to get all three. What you should be looking at this program before you start the draft is the missions. So there's going to be 4 categories of mission types. The first is general missions. The only thing that changes is this stat right here. It says 35 hits in a single BR entry. I believe the last season, this goal had to do with home runs. I believe it was 15 home runs, or no, I think it was total bases, 50 total bases in a single entry, which was really easy. Believe me when I tell you, this is a structure of a draft that is very well known, and it's pretty much the best, gives you the best chance of having the best team possible. All right, 35 hits in a single entry, 4,000 XP, and then you have 1 XP for each win. Not a lot. 12-0, you get 20 XP. If you win 9 games in an entry, you don't have to go 9-0, you just have to get 9 wins, you get 10 XP. And then this 15,000 XP in the program is just at any time. So you just keep playing until you get 15,000 XP. You don't have to get it in a single entry. All right, and then 25,000 XP, same thing. You'll get 15 XP overall for the program. 20 home runs in BR games. So this is not in a single entry. This is over the entire course of the season. So as long as you keep playing, you can redraft, re-enter, and then keep going until you get 20 home runs. Same with 30 strikeouts, and then 5 walks. Now, in Battle Royale, you get the draft, and I'll get to the draft right after this. Each team usually ends up being around anywhere from a 78 overall to an 80 overall. So everyone's playing with the same level of overall attributed players. And the rank-based match doesn't really happen as accurately as ranked seasons, where you're matched up in All-Star, Hall of Fame, and Legend difficulty. It's all All-Star 3-inning games for Battle Royale, which kind of levels the playing field, but it also makes it very easy for the players who are filthy at the game and play on Legend consistently. They have an advantage over you. They just do. So you kind of hope to have some luck and run into players who are at your level or right around your level. But don't get discouraged if you run into someone who's really good. It's just an anomaly sometimes, and you can still go 12-0, and since it's a 3-inning game, you could find a way to beat them and keep going and keep yourself flawless. So let's get into these player missions. Each draft round, the first 4 or 5 rounds will have players from these categories. So you want to pick them to get the XP. Once you get the XP with this player, you'll get 4 XP for each player you complete the program XP with. So you got All-Star Kinsler, you got Kevin Youkilis, Dave Parker, Carlos Rodon. I typically try to go with the pitchers first, since they're easier to rack up the XP with, and it's the same amount of XP for pitchers as hitters in this program. All right, and then they give you a selection of gold. I try to stay with hitters when it comes to the diamond, but let's see. There's DeGrom in here, so you'll have to pick him eventually. Lou Brock, Miguel Sano, and then Willie Stargell. So 3 hitters and 1 pitcher, and it's DeGrom, so that's good. When we get to the draft, I'll show you what you got to do with them. You just got to pick them and use them. That's pretty much it. All right, so that's why I tell you to look at this. Make sure you pick these players. Look at these players, remember them, and just remember to pick them if you get them in your selection of rounds. All right, so we'll enter the draft. All right, so the first round is always a high diamond. Follow this rule. Never, ever get a pitcher as a high diamond. So, and here in this round, I'm avoiding Justin Verlander. All right. The only exception to getting a diamond pitcher is, like I just mentioned, if he's in that program XP, the selection of 4 players in order to get the XP for the program, then you'll select that one, get it done and over with, and if you want to use them again, you can, but I recommend just using hitters for diamonds. So save all your diamonds for position players, and then try to pick the ones that are preferable to you too, ones that you usually play well with. But we're gonna keep it new and go with David Wright. All right, so you have 3 diamond picks overall, 4 gold, 9 silver, 8 bronze, and 2 common players. I try to save the commons and bronze to fill up the bullpen and the rotation, the bottom half of the rotation. The reason for that is I plan to never use them. You want to be able to use the best players you can throughout the entire run of your Battle Royale run. And then you only want to use those bronze common pitchers or sometimes hitters in a pinch. So you want to make sure you're selecting based on certain needs, and I'll show you that when I get to that selection. All right, so my next round here is another diamond set. Another thing to keep in mind, it is random each round. Sometimes you'll get 3 diamond rounds in a row, and then it'll go straight to common and then back to gold. Sometimes your last pick will be a diamond. Sometimes, you know, your last 3 picks will be golds. It's completely random. So that's kind of the tricky part about drafting. And ideally, in order for it to shake out as best as possible, it's going with the lower end cards first, the silver, bronze, and common players, and having decent pitchers in those rounds, so that you can fill your lineup with golds and diamonds. It depends on you. I'm just going to get the pitcher out of the way, so I'm going to go with DeGrom. All right. It's the only time I'm going to pitch a diamond pitcher is when he's in the program. We got another program mission here. We got another pitcher. I mean, I'm going to have to do it either way, so it doesn't really matter what you pick here. I'm going to go with the pitcher again. All right, so same thing. Now, I typically like to save the silvers for pitchers in general. So I'm just going to keep the same theme here, get the XP out of the way for the program. Unless I really, really like one of these hitters for a silver, I'm going to go with the pitcher again, Rodon. My rotation is almost more than halfway complete. I should aim to save the back end of my rotation, the 4 and 5 spot, for bronze and common pitchers, and plan to not have to use them. All right, so I'm going to be careful. I'm going to try to pick a good bronze or maybe even a silver in order to not need to use those last 2 spots in the rotation. All right, you're going to be using your bullpen more heavily, so I'm going to focus on the golds and silvers for the bullpen, and then, well, I'm really going to focus on the silvers for the bullpen and good bronze pitchers as well, and save the golds in that last diamond for the position player. So this round, not that great. Jack Flaherty, I already have 2 above 80 overall pitchers, and then I got Rodon, a high silver. So I'm gonna stick to the position player. Another thing to keep in mind with this is once your lineup starts filling up, you know, anytime you pick a position player, it's gonna automatically send that player to that position in the lineup if it's not filled already, and then it will send it to their secondary position if their position is filled. And then once the entire lineup is filled, it will send all these cards to the bench. Any card you pick after that will go to the bench. So then you'll basically be pitching replacement players that you want to swap out, or you'll be picking pinch runners and pinch hitters, and that is important in this game mode. Oh geez, these are all tough picks because they're not that great, but I'm gonna go with Danny Jansen. All-star difficulty, I can deal with the contact. All right, we got some diamonds. I'm gonna avoid the pitcher here. We got Blaze Alexander, that's just a cool name. Really balanced hitter, good pick. Ian Happ, switch hitter, plays a lot of secondary positions, balanced as well, great pick. So I'm gonna go with Ian Happ. All right, and I can move him around. They put him in left field, but I can move him around based on how the draft goes. All right, so now I have a common round. My intention is not to have to use these guys, but if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go with the pitcher. Gonna go with a relief pitcher. This guy's the obvious pick to me. He's got high velocity and high break for a common. That's pretty good. Again, my goal is to not have to use any of these guys if I pick them, but I'm gonna put him in there. All right, so now we got a gold or a bronze round. I'm gonna go. These hitters don't look good, or the 1 hitter, 2 hitters in there. So we will go with a. Neither of these pitchers really appeal to me, but I'll put the relief pitcher in. Okay, this is a little odd. If I remember correctly, Kinsler was in the program, so I'm gonna go with him. Yeah, he was definitely in the program. Otherwise, this would be a really good pick. A silver relief pitcher with high velocity. So I would go with that pick, or I'm pretty sure Kinsler's in the program, so I can go with him too. What I want to avoid now that I have pretty decent starting pitching is avoid having the golds be a round of mostly pitchers. So to do that, I'm gonna want to pick a lot of silver pitchers in the next couple of rounds. So here, if I don't like any of these hitters, and I do like Stanton, Harold Ramirez has pretty good contact, but I don't want him playing the field because it's atrocious fielding. So I can put him at DH. But I'm gonna go with Cody Senga. He's got good stuff. He's a silver, 97 break, 70 control, 89 velocity. That's good enough. So I'm gonna go with him. Even though he's in the rotation, I can use him as a relief arm. Here we got bronze round. I'm gonna go with the best relief arm here because these hitters don't really do it for me, and I think that's what you should do too. Velocity 99. I'm going with JT Chargois. I don't know this guy. We got Brandon Crawford. I really like his swing. James Talion, Cody Bellinger, and Lane Thompson. So we have 5 silvers left. I'm hoping I get more pitchers in the silver round. We'll go with Bellinger. Okay, so we could either round out the rotation with Casey Mize, which is a pretty good bronze pitcher. 87 velocity, 75 control, and 96 break. Steve Wilson, I'm not liking that. Miguel Sano, it's not the Sano that's in the program, but he's only got power versus righties, not good contact, terrible vision. We'll skip him. Melendez, good contact versus lefties. I'm going to go with Casey Mize, so that'll round out my rotation. You don't need to have a full 5 rotation of like just absolute blazers, and you know, you just want to have 2 or 3 good starting pitchers, and really just 2 good starting pitchers and 1 decent one. I have 3 good starting pitchers and 2 decent ones, which is a little much because, like I said, you want the bullpen to have most of your silver reliable pitching. All right, so I'm gonna do. None of these bronze hitters appeal to me. I'll go with one of the pitchers, the only pitcher in here, Mark Melanson. Plan on not using him. I got a 68, 60, and 65 overall in the bullpen. I really plan on not using them. And then I got another one here. Yennier Cano, he's got the velocity. We got some hitters here. The only one, Jared Walsh, would be worthy of picking, but since the lineup's not full yet, it will go immediately into first base slot, which I don't want. I want to save that for the golds and silvers. So I'll go with Cano. All right, here we go. This is a good round for Teoscar Hernandez and his live series cards. Pretty good. All right, I'm going to go with Schreiber, though, because like I said, unless these hitters really appeal to you and you still have golds left, I would just wait until you get the golds. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots in the lineup to fill. So one of them is going to have to be a silver or bronze. And the other 3, you want to aim to make those golds. You really just need your lineup to be as best as possible. Battle Royale is all about putting up runs. You're going to give up runs no matter what. It's just all-star difficulty. I mean, that's not true. You should still pitch as best as you can, but just remember it is all-star. So you really just want to aim for a really good lineup. Fielding matters too. All right, so 54 fielding, not great. He's got good speed though. This is a tough choice. I'm going to go with Schreiber. Robert Suarez is a really good silver bullpen arm. So knowing that I have 4 spots in the lineup, I'm going to want 3 golds and 1 silver. I still can afford to get 2 bench silvers, which is good too. And I need my bullpen to have a little more support. So I'll put Suarez in there. All right, bronze. I'm going to go with a relief pitcher. 99 velocity, that's good. All right, so now we got all position players here for silver. So I gotta choose one now. Just go with the best one you think. We got a switch hitter, right fielder. The only good fielder in here is Baez. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Anthony Santander. Okay, so this is good now. We got gold position players. It all comes down to preference here, or what you need, what you want to move around. Speed, I got 65 overall speed right now. I could use Turner. difficulty, I'm going to go with another righty. I'm going to go with Daryl George. Play more positions than anyone else. And then sometimes you get lucky. So we got Trey Turner again. We got Francisco Lindor with over 90 overall contact in both sides of the plate. Corey Seager, good power. That's a really good option. I still need a shortstop. And then Bo Bichette, great contact, obviously good power. I'm going to go with the lefty here. Corey Seager. I'll go with Cabrera at the DH. I can always put him on the bench if I get a better player. These hitters are okay. I mean, the only option here really is Yasmani's a switch hitter. He could be good off the bench for hitting. Literally 0 speed and 1 stealing, though. I'm going to go with Billy Hamilton, maybe pinch run with him if I'm in a pinch or something and I need a run. All right, so we got Bryson Stott. I'm looking to replace Cabrera at DH. So I'm going to try to get that with the gold. How good is Danny Jansen at fielding? I'm going to go with Meneses and put him at DH. Now, the only unfortunate thing is you can't move these guys into the position you want until you're finished the draft, so I got to wait for that. And then here we go. So they saved me a gold for the almost the last round, the second to last round. We got McGuire, D. Gordon, and then Manny Machado. That's a good option. Luis Robert. I'm going to go with... So I'm going to go with Robert. All right, and then this last pick, I'm just going speed because none of these guys can really hit. So we're going to go with this guy, 88 overall speed. All right, so that is it. Now you just want to organize the lineup this is very important. You want to pay attention to this, how you organize the lineup. You want to make sure you're getting your diamond players and your gold players more swings than everybody else. So even if you don't want to put 3 diamonds at the top, you should at least have your diamonds and golds within the first 5 hitters, I would say. So I'm going to put David Wright second. I usually like to use someone either fast or someone who's like an okay hitter just to get them out of the way and see a couple pitches first to get ready for the second hitter. So maybe I'll go with Hap at second. We got Corey Seager. And actually, now that I mentioned that, I'm going to put David Wright in the second spot, my 99 overall. All right, so we'll start off with 2 righties. I'm going to switch Cabrera out the DH for Luis Robert. We got Joey Meneses. He can play right field, first base, third base, left field. So I might switch him in for someone too. All right, so we'll keep him there. But now I know I have a good bench hitter in Meneses, decent one in Cabrera. And then I use these 2 guys for speed if I need a stolen base or someone to tag up from third to home. And then that's pretty much it. So we got 80 overall. I think that's the best you can get. I've never really seen higher than that. I think I've gotten 81 once, but like I said, it's usually anywhere from 78 overall to 80 overall. I'm not going to make a separate video for this, but you do want to play this team carefully. Your pitchers are going to lose energy from game to game. So you got to pay attention to how much you're using your pitchers. They lose energy quickly. And since it's very easy to give up bombs in Battle Royale on All-Star difficulty, you want to make sure you don't let their energy get too low so that their par gets bigger. The lower their energy is, the easier it is to hit off of them. The lower their hits per 9 will really mean. And then the batters will always have the advantage if the pitcher's energy is low. All right, so that's why it's important to pick a lot of decent bullpen arms that you can rely on to swap in, either like high overalls up to 80 or guys with a lot of velocity. So stamina helps too. So you can keep that in mind during your draft. I try not to. This guy's 50 stamina, but he's a 68 overall, so I can use him in a pinch, use him over and over again. But my rotation's really good, so that's going to play out well for me. So this draft, the way it shook out was pretty decent. I've had better. I've had a lot worse where they just give you they try to give you a ton of gold pitchers and diamond pitchers and really bad hitters and just really bad rounds. So this one was actually pretty decent, but that's it. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any other advice, please put it in the comments. I would like to know what you guys think about this draft strategy, and I will see you on the next one.